High Counselor Zethrax adjusted his neural interface as the quantum data streams flickered across his consciousness. For 17 cycles, he had served as the Galactic Council's chief xenobiologist, cataloging and predicting the evolutionary paths of emerging species across the galaxy. His algorithms were precise, his models flawless. Every species had followed predictable patterns until now. The holographic display materialized before the assembled council, showing a small blue world orbiting a yellow dwarf star in the galaxy's outer rim. Designation Sol 3. The bipedal inhabitants called it Earth. Esteemed counselors, Zethrax began, his voice resonating through harmonic frequencies that translated into dozens of alien languages simultaneously. I present the most anomalous species discovery in our recorded history. Counselor Vex Prima, her gaseous form shimmering with irritation, interjected. Anomalous? They are primitive bipeds, barely past nuclear fission. Our initial scans suggested standard aggressive expansion patterns. What makes them worthy of full council attention? Zethrax's tentacles writhed a sign of deep confusion among his kind. That, Counselor, is precisely the problem. Our predictive models have failed catastrophically. The display shifted, showing a time-lapse of human development over the past 10,000 years. The Council watched civilizations rise and fall, technologies emerge and evolve, wars consume continents, and peace rebuild them. According to our standard xenobiological matrices, Zethrax continued, species following the bipedal aggressive territorial pattern invariably follow one of three paths: self-annihilation through warfare, environmental collapse, or successful transition to Type I civilization status within 12,000 years of achieving agriculture. Counselor Thiske, his crystalline form pulsing with curiosity, leaned forward. And the humans? They have violated every assumption we hold about species development, Zethrax replied, his voice carrying an edge of professional distress. Observe. The display zoomed in on various human conflicts throughout history. See here, they engage in devastating global warfare, yet somehow emerge stronger and more unified. Here they poison their own atmosphere to the brink of extinction, then suddenly reverse course with unprecedented international cooperation. And here the image showed the moon landing. They achieved spaceflight, while simultaneously maintaining hundreds of separate tribal nation-states. The council chamber fell silent, except for the ambient hum of translation matrices. Furthermore, Zethrax continued, their cognitive patterns defy classification. They possess the tribal loyalty instincts of pack hunters, the innovative curiosity of solitary explorers, the mathematical precision of hive minds, and the unpredictable creativity of chaos-adapted organisms. All simultaneously, our behavioral prediction algorithms return error messages. Counselor Morth 9, a cybernetic intelligence from the Andromeda sector, process the data through quantum analysis nodes. Show us their current technological trajectory. The display shifted to present-day Earth. Sprawling cities of glass and steel, orbital stations, quantum computers, genetic engineering, artificial intelligence, fusion reactors, and something that made even the ancient council members recoil: experiments in consciousness transfer and dimensional manipulation. They achieved these advances in a mere 2 centuries, Zethrax said quietly. Most species require millennia to develop fusion technology alone. Yet humans leaped from steam engines to quantum mechanics in less time than it takes most civilizations to perfect agriculture. Vex Prima's gaseous form contracted with alarm. What are you suggesting? I am suggesting, Counselor, that our understanding of evolutionary development is fundamentally flawed. Humans represent something we have never encountered: a species that thrives on contradiction, grows stronger through adversity, and innovates fastest when facing existential threats. The display showed human art, music, literature, and philosophy alongside their weapons and machines. Children laughing in playgrounds built atop the ruins of ancient battlefields. Scientists collaborating across former enemy lines to solve global crises. Individuals sacrificing everything for strangers they would never meet. They are simultaneously the most violent and most compassionate species we have documented, Zethrax continued. They create beauty in the midst of destruction and find hope in the face of impossibility. They should have destroyed themselves a dozen times over, yet instead they forge unity from chaos. This K's crystalline structure resonated with contemplation. What does this mean for our standard first contact protocols? Zethrax's neural interface flickered as he accessed deep archives. Every first contact scenario in our databanks assumes predictable responses based on species classification. Aggressive species respond to strength, peaceful species to diplomacy, technological species to logical exchange. But humans? He paused, his tentacles weaving complex patterns of uncertainty. Humans appear to respond to challenge by becoming more creative, to isolation by seeking connection, to logic by embracing intuition, and to the impossible by attempting it anyway. They are living paradoxes. The council chamber hummed with discussion as thousands of species representatives processed this information through their various cognitive frameworks. Finally, the ancient voice of the Council Prime, a consciousness older than most star systems, resonated through the chamber. Xenobiologists, Zethrax, what is your recommendation regarding these? Humans? Zethrax's form straightened with resolve. Prime Council, I recommend we abandon all standard protocols. The humans are not following any pattern we understand, which means they may be capable of things we cannot predict or prepare for. They represent either the greatest threat or the greatest opportunity in galactic history. He paused, his neural interface processing probability cascades that defied conventional mathematics. I recommend we approach them not as a council of superior civilizations greeting primitives, but as curious neighbors meeting something entirely unprecedented. Because, esteemed counselors, if there is one pattern humans have consistently followed, it is this. They exceed every expectation, defy every limit, and find solutions where none should exist. The holographic display faded, leaving the council to contemplate a truth that shattered their understanding of the universe. Sometimes, the most important discoveries come not from what you expect to find, but from what you never could have imagined.